What if I told you that your mind doesn't have to fade as you grow older? What if forgetfulness, the misplaced keys, the lost words, the names slipping just out of reach, wasn't an inevitable sign of aging, but something you could change? The truth is, memory decline is not just a matter of age, it's a matter of habit. And just like any habit, it can be strengthened, nurtured, and even reversed. Modern neuroscience and ancient Buddhist teachings reveal that the key to a sharp and vibrant mind lies in the daily practices we cultivate. Today, we'll take you on a journey through the story of Robert, a retired teacher who once prided himself on his sharp memory. However, as the years went by, he noticed small lapses, misplaced items, forgotten names, moments of mental fog. At first, he ignored them, believing they were just a normal part of aging. But one day, a startling incident made him realize he could no longer take his mental clarity for granted. Instead of surrendering to forgetfulness, he chose another path, a path rooted in mindfulness, movement, nutrition, and gratitude. Through 6 transformative habits, he reclaimed his mental clarity, focus, and joy for life. And here's the best part. You can too. Stay with us until the end as we uncover 6 simple yet profound habits inspired by Buddhist wisdom that can rewire your brain, awaken your mind, and bring back the sharpness and focus you thought was slipping away. If you're ready to take control of your mind and unlock a sharper, more vibrant version of yourself, hit that like button, subscribe to TT-Buddhism, and let's begin. Robert's journey, a wake-up call. Robert had always been a sharp-minded man. As a retired teacher, he prided himself on his ability to recall students' names, memorable dates, and even small details from books he had read decades ago. However, as the years passed, he began noticing small lapses in his memory. At first they seemed insignificant, misplacing his glasses, forgetting a word mid-sentence, or walking into a room without remembering why. Like many others, he dismissed these moments, believing they were just natural signs of aging. But then, one day, something happened that shook him to his core. On a crisp autumn afternoon, Robert went to the grocery store to pick up a few essentials. It was a simple task, one he had done countless times before. As he walked in, the familiar scent of freshly baked bread filled the air. He grabbed a cart, ready to begin shopping, when suddenly he froze. His mind went blank. He couldn't remember why he was there. Panic set in. He tried to retrace his steps, but the more he struggled, the foggier his mind became. Minutes passed, yet nothing came back to him. Embarrassed and overwhelmed, he abandoned the cart and walked back to his car, heart pounding. That night, as he sat alone in his living room, he reflected on all the small lapses that had been piling up. This wasn't just forgetfulness. It was something deeper, something he could no longer ignore. At that moment, Robert had 2 choices: accept this decline as inevitable or fight back. And he made his decision. He would take control of his mind and do everything he could to regain his mental clarity. His journey to reclaim his sharpness had just begun. Habit 1. Grounding, reconnecting with the earth. One of the first changes Robert made was surprisingly simple, yet profoundly powerful. He started walking barefoot on the earth. At first, it felt unusual. The coolness of the grass sent a slight shiver up his spine, and the roughness of the soil made him hesitant. but he remembered reading about the Buddhist practice of grounding, the idea that reconnecting with nature could calm the mind, reduce stress, and enhance awareness. He decided to give it a chance. Each morning, just as the sun began to rise, Robert stepped outside. He took slow, deliberate steps on the grass, allowing the earth to meet his bare feet. Initially, he felt discomfort. His feet were too sensitive, unaccustomed to anything but shoes and pavement. But as the days passed, something changed. The discomfort faded, replaced by a deep sense of connection. The textures of the earth, the softness of morning dew, the warmth of sunlit soil, it all became part of his meditation. His once restless mind began to settle. Modern science supports this ancient practice. Studies show that grounding can reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and lower cortisol levels, all of which are crucial for brain health. Walking barefoot allows electrons from the earth to flow into the body, neutralizing harmful free radicals that contribute to cognitive decline. Beyond the science, Buddhist monks have long emphasized the importance of staying connected to the earth. Even the Buddha himself spent years walking barefoot, believing that nature held wisdom, an unspoken teacher that reminded us of impermanence, presence, and the interconnectedness of all things. After just a few weeks, Robert noticed a shift. His anxiety loosened its grip, his thoughts became clearer, and for the first time in years, he truly felt present. Grounding wasn't just a habit anymore. It became a daily ritual, a simple yet profound way to reconnect with himself and the world around him. Habit 2. Mindful eating, nourishing the mind and body. The next major change Robert made was in his diet. He realized that what he consumed wasn't just affecting his physical health, it was also impacting his memory, focus, and overall mental clarity. One day, during a conversation with an old friend, he learned about a traditional healing drink called the golden tonic. This warm, golden-hued beverage had been used for centuries in Buddhist and Ayurvedic traditions to reduce inflammation, enhance brain function, and promote overall well-being. Curious, Robert decided to give it a try. He carefully prepared the golden tonic each morning. The ingredients were simple, yet powerful. Turmeric, known for its anti-inflammatory and brain-protective properties. Coconut oil, which provides essential healthy fats to fuel brain cells. Black pepper, which boosts turmeric's absorption by 2,000%. Cacao, a natural mood enhancer that improves blood flow to the brain. Cinnamon, which helps regulate blood sugar and prevents mental fog. At first, he wasn't sure if it would make a difference. But after a few weeks, he started noticing subtle yet profound changes. His mind felt sharper, his thoughts were clearer, and he had more sustained energy throughout the day. He also started practicing mindful eating, slowing down to appreciate each bite, savoring the flavors, and expressing gratitude for his meals. Buddhist teachings emphasize that food is not just fuel, it is medicine. Eating mindfully strengthens the connection between the body and mind, ensuring that every meal is consumed with awareness and purpose. For Robert, drinking the golden tonic became more than just a morning habit. It became a daily ritual of self-care, a commitment to nourishing his mind and body with intention. Habit 3. Music, the soundtrack of memory. One afternoon, Robert's doctor asked him a simple question. Have you tried listening to music from your youth? At first, Robert was skeptical. He hadn't actively listened to music in years, at least not with full attention. Music had always been in the background, playing softly in stores or on the radio during car rides. Could something as simple as a song really help his memory? That evening, he decided to find out. He dusted off his old record player, carefully placed a vinyl on the turntable, and let the needle drop. As the first few notes crackled through the speakers, something unexpected happened. A flood of memories came rushing back. It was a song from his teenage years, one he had listened to on summer evenings with friends. As the melody filled the room, he could almost smell the fresh-cut grass and hear the distant laughter of his childhood. The memories were so vivid that, for a moment, he forgot about the gaps in his mind. He was simply there, reliving the warmth of a long-past moment. Buddhist philosophy teaches that sound is a powerful tool for meditation and healing. Monks have used chanting and rhythmic sounds for centuries to focus the mind, evoke deep memories, and cultivate inner peace. Modern neuroscience supports this, showing that familiar music activates memory centers in the brain, strengthening neural pathways that may have weakened over time. From that day forward, music became part of Robert's daily life. He created a playlist of songs from different stages of his life: his wedding song, lullabies he had sung to his children, and tunes from road trips with his wife. Each song was a key, unlocking moments he thought were lost. Music was no longer just entertainment. It was a lifeline to his past and a bridge to his present. Habit 4. Movement. Awakening the body to awaken the mind. One afternoon, Robert's granddaughter, Emily, gently placed her hand in his and said, "Let's go for a walk, Grandpa." Robert hesitated. His legs felt heavy, his energy low, and even the thought of walking to the end of the driveway seemed exhausting. Over the years, he had gradually become less active, assuming that slowing down was just a natural part of aging, but something about Emily's warm smile convinced him to try. Their first walks were short and slow. Every step felt like a challenge, his joints stiff from years of inactivity. But day by day, something changed. He began noticing the crisp morning air against his skin, the rhythmic crunch of leaves beneath his feet, and the gentle warmth of sunlight filtering through the trees. The more he moved, the more his mind seemed to wake up. Buddhist teachings emphasize the deep connection between the body and mind. The Buddha once said, "To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear." Science confirms this wisdom. Studies show that physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, promotes neuroplasticity, and delays cognitive decline. Even simple activities like walking can help create new neural pathways, strengthening memory and focus. Over time, Robert began looking forward to his daily walks. His steps became steadier, his breathing more rhythmic, and his thoughts clearer. One day, he even recalled the name of an old neighbor he hadn't spoken to in years. A moment that filled him with unexpected joy. For Robert, movement was no longer just about exercise. It was about reclaiming his presence, his clarity, and his connection to life, one step at a time. Habit 5. Mental challenges. Training the mind like a muscle. One afternoon, Robert's son walked in with a small package wrapped in brown paper. "This is for you, Dad," he said with a smile. Curious, Robert unwrapped the package and found a puzzle book filled with crosswords, logic games, and brain teasers. He hesitated. It had been years since he had done anything like this. His days were mostly spent following routines: morning tea, a short walk, flipping through magazines. The idea of challenging his mind in a structured way felt foreign. That evening, he sat at the dining table, a warm cup of tea beside him, and flipped open the book. The first puzzle was a simple crossword. As he stared at the grid, the words eluded him. Frustration bubbled up. "Why is this so difficult?" he muttered. But then he took a deep breath. He had spent years teaching his students to be patient while learning something new. Wasn't it time he gave himself the same grace? Slowly, he filled in a few letters, tested different words, erased and tried again. Then, aha, a word clicked into place. Then another. Buddhism teaches that the mind is like a garden. What we cultivate grows. If we let stagnation take over, our cognitive abilities weaken. But if we plant seeds of curiosity, challenge, and learning, our minds will flourish. Robert's success with the puzzle book encouraged him to try new things. He borrowed books on astronomy, started learning basic French, and even played chess with his granddaughter. Each challenge awakened his mind, keeping it sharp, engaged, and full of life. Habit 6. Gratitude and faith. The most powerful habit. Despite all his efforts, Robert realized one thing. His mindset was the key to everything. He had improved his diet, exercised his body, challenged his mind, and reconnected with music and nature. Yet deep inside, something was still missing. One evening, as he watched the sun set behind the trees, he felt a quiet pull within him. He had spent so much time worrying about what he was losing: his memory, his sharpness, his youth. But had he truly appreciated what he still had? That night he started a simple practice. Before going to bed, he whispered a small prayer. "Thank you for today. I am here. I am grateful." At first it felt routine, almost mechanical, but after a few weeks, something shifted. He started noticing the small joys in his daily life: the warmth of his morning tea, the laughter of his granddaughter, the way autumn leaves danced in the wind. Instead of focusing on what was fading, he focused on what remained. Buddhism teaches that gratitude transforms the mind. By training ourselves to appreciate the present moment, we rewire our brains to be more resilient, more positive, and more open to joy. Science confirms this. Research shows that practicing gratitude reduces stress, enhances memory, and strengthens mental well-being. Faith also played a role in Robert's transformation. He began meditating each morning, reflecting on Buddhist teachings about letting go of fear and embracing life with trust. Over time, gratitude and faith became his anchors, keeping him steady, peaceful, and deeply connected to life. For Robert, this final habit was the most powerful of all. Memory fades, youth fades, but gratitude lasts forever. Conclusion. The power of small, intentional changes. Robert's journey was not about chasing youth or resisting time. It was about embracing the power of small, intentional changes. Choices that allowed him to reclaim his clarity, his joy, and his sense of self. These 6 habits, grounding, mindful eating, music, movement, mental challenges, and gratitude, did more than just sharpen his mind. They reconnected him with the beauty of the present moment. They reminded him that his mind was not something to fear losing, but something to nurture, strengthen, and appreciate. The truth is, this transformation isn't exclusive to Robert. It's available to you too. Your mind is your most precious asset. It holds your memories, your dreams, and your wisdom. And just like a garden, it thrives when nurtured. Every small action you take today is a step toward preserving the sharpness, clarity, and vibrancy of your mind. So, where will you begin? Will you take a walk barefoot on the grass? Savor your next meal with full awareness? Or play a song from your youth and let it transport you? Maybe you'll move your body, stretch your mind with a new challenge, or simply whisper a quiet thank you at the end of the day. Whatever step you take, remember, transformation happens in the small moments, in the quiet decisions you make each day. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits resonated with you the most? Which one will you start today? Let us know in the comments below. And if this message brought you value, support our mission by liking, sharing, and subscribing to TT-Buddhism. Your support helps us continue bringing meaningful content that empowers you to live with presence, intention, and gratitude. Until next time, stay present, stay grateful, and keep your mind sharp.